It is said that nations are built with sacrifices and hard work of leaders and citizens who do not care even if they are condemned by those of their own religion or ethnicity, so long as they are confident that they act in obedience to the oaths they swore and to Almighty God. In Nigeria today, many are beating the drums of ethnic and religious differences. Some even seek to divide the nation into ethnic zones. However, Nigeria's constitution speaks in the clearest terms of national commitment to the equality of all Nigerians, regardless of ethnicity, religion, or status. It speaks of the imperative of all individuals and governments to respect the rights and dignity of every Nigerian. The Constitution also speaks of freedom of worship and the liberty to practice any faith of one's choice. However, it is clear that constitutional declarations mean nothing unless there are men and women ready to make the personal sacrifices to bridge the gap between rhetoric and constitutional ideals. Such men and women are not usually very many, but they do not have to be to make a difference. Now, as our Muslim brothers and sisters, and indeed the nation, is still basking in the celebrations of Eid al-Adha, the Feast of Sacrifice. On Nigeria Today, we are focusing on sacrifice for nation building. Welcome to the program. I am Dennis Adigunloye. All right, joining me now to speak further on sacrifice for nation building, we have the Chief Imam Ansaruddin Mosque, Abuja, Dr. Musa Olaofe. You're very welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, and also joining us in the studio is the convener, National Transformation Summit, Reverend Wale Babatunde. You're also very welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let me come first to Chief Imam Ansaruddin Mosque, Abuja, Dr. Musa Olaofe. Barakat de Salah to you, sir.
Thank you. Barakat de Salah.
All right. When we talk about sacrifice for nation building, in your view, what are we referring to?
Well, you can see clearly that this country belongs to all of us. It's Nigeria, and we remain Nigerians. And we have to believe in one thing, that let's try all our possible best to make Nigeria great. And how do we do that? It's for us to sacrifice for this country. Sacrifice at times can be struggle, can be divine as a way forward, and what we think that can make Nigeria great, to make the future of the country very, very important to every one of us, and to see that Nigeria remain as one family for life. So if we do this, we'll see that we will be enjoying the dividends of democracy and what's expected of every citizens of this country to see. Because once Nigeria is great, everything in us is greater, so that we can be able to live long and live with peace and harmony. So with all this, we can see that we can make a lot of sacrifice. It is not only when you slaughter or kill anybody we say sacrifice. In fact, given vital information, given special advices, given some other things that are very relevant at any point in time, it can still be regarded as sacrifice. So that is how Nigeria can be more greater.
Sure. All right, Reverend Wale Babatunde, let's get your take on what the ideals of sacrifice for nation building entail.
Well, you know, it was, I believe, an American president who said, don't ask what American can do for you. Rather, you should ask what you can do for America. I think that is so very important where we are in the history of Nigeria. When we're talking about sacrifice, we're talking about what I can give up for the greater good of Nigeria. We're talking about what our leaders, our politicians can give up for the greater good of Nigeria. We're talking about what the religious leaders can give up for the greater good of Nigeria. And let me just say this very clearly. Our nation will not become great until we all begin to embrace sacrifice until we begin to say, you know what? Other people matter. Other people of faith. People from the Muslim. People who have no faith. Until I begin to sacrifice, we will not have a great nation.
All right, staying with you, Reverend Wale, given what you just said, it seems that Nigeria is currently the polar opposite to what you just said. Nigeria is in a critical point in her history with divisiveness drums across the nation. Where would you say Nigerians are getting it wrong currently?
Where is Nigeria getting it wrong? I think a lot of areas. I could dissect. I could say so many things. Let me just say this. Number one, I don't belong to no political party. I've not voted in Nigeria in the last 30 years because I've lived in England. So I don't represent PDP or APC. I'm a Nigerian, good Nigerian. Secondly, I want to say that I believe in the unity of Nigeria. I love it. I don't want to part with Igbos. I don't want to part with Hausa. I don't want to part. Nigeria is better. I've lived abroad and I found out that we are so strong. Nigeria is a great nation. But my heart is broken the way Nigeria has been going for decades. Number one, we need to hold our leadership to account. Listen, let me give you a classical example. Why will our political class be earning the kind of money that we don't earn in the Western world? We're not dumb. You know, a few days ago, somebody had an accident, and I took the person to the hospital. I was mad at the state of Nigeria's hospital. We don't value lives in Nigeria. And many of our so-called political class will come and buy houses in England. They'll come and buy houses in other places. They must live by example. And I'm not just going to talk about political class. Even the religious leaders. There are many of them who we cannot justify the way we are living. When people are dying of malaria fever and people are going to quote the holy book, I want to disagree. Sacrifice must start with our political class. Let me say this. I'm very angry, and I'm sure the Nigerian people are very angry to hear about the amount of money that our political class are earning when the average Nigerian is begging for food outside. No, we need to sacrifice. The political class, they are meant to be our servants. It's not the other way around. I think they have disappointed this nation. I think we need to go back and begin to sacrifice. The same thing with religious leaders. We must sacrifice if this nation is going to be great.
All right, Dr. Musa, given what you've heard from Reverend Wale, what are your hopes and expectations in terms of what the elite as well as ordinary Nigerians can do differently to change this narrative?
Well, there are so many ways in which we can change for better, because if you go back to the history of this nation, it has never been there, whereby people loot properties, people embezzle money, people are so corrupt, people, dip their hands into the government money and then be doing anything they like with it, and they always get away with it. But we need to change for better, because if you remember in 1960, when this independence was brought for us, all our leaders then, they don't have houses anywhere. So in fact, they don't even have a good car, but the love of this country is very paramount to them. And they will love Nigeria to the extent that they can even sell their property to make Nigeria great. So if people of nowadays can emulate the good legacies left behind with all these people, I think Nigeria is going to be very great. And that greatest thing we are discussing about, if you travel to so many countries, they really love us, they really want us. They really cherish what Nigeria is all about, especially our green and white. So you know that they give us that respect and honor. But it's not too late for us to change, because no amount of any criticism, no amount of anything we do here that can even solve that problem. But the only thing we can do is to let them know that government must be upright. They are ready, they should be ready to do. And then if anybody is being caught with all these things, discipline and show good examples to others. Take for example, our children these days, there is no amount of any grammar you can blow to them and tell them that Nigeria is this and that. They'll just be smiling. But especially those who have traveled to Canada, traveled to America, traveled to other countries and see the way they live there. You know, nobody kills this one. Nobody maim at this one. Nobody concerned about what you eat in your houses. Nobody discuss about you. You know, everybody is engaged. But majority of us, the way we are behaving is quite unfortunate, that we are not even behaving as if we are educated. Even those who are educated, they've already been polluted to the extent that when they see little money, they are not saying the truth anymore. Religious leaders too, when they give them contract, they are not interested in discussing about what God says in the Bible or in the Holy Quran. They are just after what they are getting at that very point in time. And at the end of the day, they become so useless, to the extent that nobody cares about them.
And staying with you, Dr. Musa, as we celebrate the Feast of Sacrifice, what lessons should we all take away, irrespective of our differences and expectations?
You see, for Nigeria to be more greater, we just need to come together as one family. Both the Muslims and the Christians, let us work together as one family. Leave religion alone. If you are in the mosque, pray and talk to God to assist you. If you are in the church, pray and talk to God to assist you. But using religion, fighting one another, criticizing one another unnecessarily, and at the end of the day, nothing is forthcoming. So we are not really helping this country. So we should use the month of Zulhijjah, in which Eid al-Kabir came up yesterday, that everybody celebrated, both the Christians and the Muslims, who are friends and neighbors. They went to greet one another. That is how it's supposed to be, because you cannot change what God has written. You cannot even bring new one into it. You can always be working on what's already there, so that to make this country greater, we should stop agitating for break away from this one, let this one go away, let this one be there. If really want Nigeria to be more greater, we need to speak with one voice. In 1979, we had National Party of Nigeria, Unity Party of Nigeria, and many other parties like that. So what are they discussing about? Nigeria, Nigeria. They never go to they never deviate. They were just concerned about Nigeria. So if we can continue like this, everybody will be respected. Entrepreneurship is very, very important if we want Nigeria to be more greater. Because if our children are graduating from the universities, no job for them, you cannot, you see, the job cannot be available. Why? Because not everybody will love to be a civil servant. Some need some assistance from the government so they can just go and set up their own businesses, and then they'll be doing fine. So if country can use this one and rally around with those who have graduated, they are jobless, and then you see them, they have never settled, they cannot marry, they cannot have children, just because they don't have anything doing. And you see all these crises we are facing now, banditry, some other things, kidnappings. It is because people are not seeing things to do. If they are busy doing one thing or the other, all these things will become a thing of the past.
Definitely. And bringing Reverend Wale in on this point, we all acknowledge that security is a challenge. How can the citizens of this country contribute to mitigating the security challenges rather than politicizing and ethno-blaming?
Well, you know, it boils down to leadership. You know, we're shouting that we don't want people to drum about ethnicity, tribalism, and all the other things. If our leaders will sacrifice, if our leaders will put it at the back of their minds that they are there to be the servants of the people, I guarantee you, a lot of the people who are canvassing today to break away from Nigeria, they will not do so. You know, I don't want Nigeria to break, but we have pushed the people. I have never seen Nigeria in this kind of situation in my lifetime. It's because they've seen the political class, what they have done. They have stolen the Commonwealth. So before we begin to, listen, the average person on the street doesn't need more. They need good roads.
What about the actual citizens? We all know about the elite and the role that they have played in the current state of affairs, but we all know that governance is a whole. What can citizens themselves, what role can they play in improving the situation?
Well, I'm going to say that one of the things we can do is that we need to begin to imbibe new values. And I have looked at Nigeria, and I think the church, the mosque, we have a lot of, look, my father, I look back And the values that people like my father is almost 90. The values that they had in those days is gone. He worked for the Lagos state government. They never accepted bribe. You know, they believe that they have to love their country. So Nigeria need a new set of value, respect, honor, hard work. Those are the things. And it must start in the church and in the mosque. We should not be stealing money. And when they bring stolen money to the church and the mosque, pastors should refuse it. It's the commonwealth. If somebody who you don't know where he's getting his money, comes with billions and millions, we need to talk about the truth, because Nigerians are dying in the hospital. They are dying on the road.
All right, so let me just pause you there. My director is telling us to pause for a break. You're on to Nigeria Today. The program is coming back to you very shortly after this timeout. Stay with us. All right, you're welcome back. The program is Nigeria Today. We are discussing sacrifice for nation building. We have the Chief Imam Ansaruddin Mosque, Abuja, Dr. Musa Olaofe, with us in the studio, and also here is Reverend Wale Babatunde, convener, National Transformation Summit. Dr. Musa, let me bring that question before the break to you as well. Can you give us an idea of what ordinary Nigerians can do in terms of nation building? We all know about governments and the powers that be and all the complaining that Nigerians put on the head of the governments, but for a country to function successfully, everybody needs to play their own individual roles. We know about the family and how bringing up children is critical to instilling good values. So just talk to us a little bit about what ordinary Nigerians can do themselves to better the situation in the country.
When we're discussing about nation building, it is not only the government's work. It is the work of, it's a collective responsibility that every one of us need to participate. Yeah. For example, now, for how long now, we've not heard about scarcity of fuel here and there. But anytime you see scarcity of fuel in Nigeria, then you see people selling fuel in jerrycans, black market here and there. So are we now saying that governments, they are the one doing that one too? So we just need to work together. If governments says we don't want people to behave like this, then we should follow the rules and regulations, because Nigeria has been governed by laws, and we should not take that laws into our hands in doing anything we do. So we should make sure that we follow it in such a way that even if you are the leader, if you are Mr. President tomorrow, well, how will you govern this country? How will you control this country? So the ethnicity crisis too, we just need to be very careful in order not to bring it into the governance. Because if a man is leading today, we have to be a Yoruba man who's a president. All other tribes should rally around him. Don't say he's not our man, so he's not from our tribe. And then that's what is killing us in this country. If an Hausa man is leading, let's support. If a Muslim is leading, let's support. If a Christian is leading, let's support. And that support must be in sincerity, with sincerity of trust, so that trust we are talking about in Nigeria is what we lack. We can just be talking that they want Nigeria to be great, and you see people discussing about peace, 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 peace. They can just be saying peace from their mouth, but majority are not peaceful at all. They are not peaceful in such a way that that is not the way to build a nation. How do we build a nation? Number one, we must educate our children. Give them good education, sound education for that matter. Number two, you should teach them how to behave in the society, mannerism, how they can talk, how they should respect elders. In those days when you see them, you give them the honor they deserve. In fact, when you are sitting down and another man is coming, then you stand up for him or her to sit down. But these days, they don't do that. They will just look at you. After all, you're a university graduate. I'm also a university graduate. The respect is totally zero. So they don't have it anymore. Then at the same time, the parents too must look after their children. Do you monitor them? How much do they buy their mobile phone they are using? Where do they get the money they are using in buying this mobile phone? We don't look after that one again, and that's why things begins to deteriorate more than expected. And we can never build a nation like this when we continue looking at people and allow them to do whatever they like. If you allow them to do whatever they like, then they will not look at Nigeria as anything. Look at the issue of NSAS. When it came on board, many things were looted, many properties were destroyed, billions of naira were gone. So, and if all these things, how do we build a nation when something are destroying every day? Then we are looking for another budget to replace it back again. Instead of us to move forward, we are now moving back on daily basis. So it is not the handiwork, it's not the work of the government alone. It is collective responsibility. All of us must come together and build this nation. And we must love Nigeria at our hearts. If you really love Nigeria, yes, we build a nation. If you don't love Nigeria, then you see some people, even when they are outside the country, by the time they are discussing about Nigeria, I was watching a program the other time, maybe our footballers went somewhere. Somebody was abusing all of them, that go to your country, see you are from the country that did this, a lot of things that we are not like that. Well, I thank God that in that video, some people have to respond that no, our country is not like that. When you say Nigeria is bad, it's not everybody that's bad. Some people are still good. In fact, when you give them money to take, they tell you, no, we are very sorry. We are not taking this. Yeah. So if those ones are there, plenty, others who are bad, then they can change and emulate the good ones so Nigeria can move forward.
Absolutely. All right, let me give the final word to Reverend Wale. Well, what can you say, building on those critical points that Dr. Musa has spoken of?
Well, I would just want to emphasize the rule of law. You know, the rule of law states that everybody is equal before the law. Doesn't matter whether you're a political class, you're the man on the throne, or you're the man on the street. There's equality before the law. Yeah. And if you look at our country right now, I don't think the rule of law is at play. And it's important that if somebody steals the money of the Commonwealth, everybody is brought to the book. And I want to emphasize, the time has come that the average Nigerian, those of you watching us today, to please begin to respect the law, respect the rules. You know, I've been experiencing some things in the last few weeks that I got here. You know, I want to cross the road at a zebra crossing. Zebra crossing. Every civilized society knows where you have a zebra crossing, somebody needs to wait and you cross. You know, I think a lot of people just immediately get, this guy must not be living in this country. And taxis park at the zebra crossing. Guys, they are picking up passengers. Even up till this morning when I was going on my walk, I had to stop them and say, look at me, guys. Don't you ever tell me that the president is the problem of Nigeria. Don't you ever tell me that our leader, they are not the ones parking here. We are the problem. And this is where, you know, when I got there and I looked, I said, no, Nigeria needs reorientation. We need values. How can you, if I want to cross on the zebra crossing now, they are not going to wait for me. You can knock people down. Do you know that if I stand on the zebra crossing in Britain today, or in any civilized society, the car has to wait. Where did Nigeria get it wrong? Leadership, but more importantly, it's our collective responsibility. Let me add by saying this. Yeah. I believe in the Nigerian project. Nigeria is going to be great, and it will be in my lifetime.
Definitely. Amen to that. Reverend Wale Babatunde, convener, National Transformation Summit, very many thanks for your inputs in today's discussion. Thanks for that. And thanks also to Dr. Musa Olaofe, Chief Imam, and Saruddin Mosque Abuja. Thank you very much for your insights as well.
Thanks.
All right, wish you both well in your continued endeavors. Thanks to you out there for watching. Nigeria Today airs every weekday at 7:30 in the evening. Also catch this and other editions on youtube.com/NTA News 24 Hub. I am Dennis Adignoye. Thanks for your time.